It was the take that got Paul Pierce laughed off of seemingly every sports show in America. If I'm the GM, I'd trade LeBron. The reaction was immediate and predictable. Outrage, disbelief. How could anyone, especially a Hall of Fame rival, even suggest a team should trade one of the greatest players of all time?
And you still keep Donovan Mitchell and the big
Mobley,
and you add Bron to that because they look like they struggling now, Cleveland, out the gate.
It sounded bitter, like a desperate jab to stay relevant by attacking the king. It was dismissed as just another scorching hot take in the 24-hour news cycle.
Cleveland is plausible if those things
Bron
happen.
and Bronny is a package deal, though.
He's $3 million, so like that's
yeah,
not
you
a lot
throw
of money.
Bronny in there, they both go to Cleveland. One last run.
But what if he had a point? What if Paul Pierce, the longtime rival, was the only one brave enough to say what the numbers have been hinting at for years?
We could get some for Bron if you could. I'm trying to get him to like, all right.
He ain't even came back.
No,
yet.
I know, but look,
might miss
it
with
got to
this.
be something like, all right, Bron.
While the highlights still show a phenomenal superstar, a closer look at the analytics reveals a more complicated picture. We're talking about a defensive effort that has to be managed and a pattern of playoff exits that raise tough questions. This isn't just a hot take anymore. This is the data-driven case for why Paul Pierce saw what the numbers are now suggesting. The Lakers are at a crossroads, and a franchise-altering decision might be less of a choice and more of a necessity. Let's be perfectly clear, this isn't about tearing down LeBron James' legacy. He is, without question, one of the most incredible offensive forces the game has ever known. Even in his 21st season, he put up staggering numbers that players a decade younger would kill for. His court vision, power, and basketball IQ are still nothing short of elite. But basketball is a two-way street, and on one end of the floor, the decline isn't just visible, it's a statistical reality. A key indicator is his defensive rating. In the 2023-24 season, he recorded his lowest ever rating at 114.5. This figure is a critical reason why he is becoming a liability on the court. This defensive issue is compounded by other telling stats, like his plus-minus, which shows whether the team is winning or losing when a player is on the court. In recent seasons, the Lakers have been outscored when LeBron is playing, with reports showing his total plus-minus at negative totals like -54 and -75 in different years. While some analysts argue this stat can be misleading, the eye test confirms a trend.
So you think if Bron was playing, he wouldn't be at 41 again?
No, of course not.
What do you mean, of course not?
Well, he got to have the ball, dog. Like,
We see him conserving energy, sometimes walking back on defense, and not fully engaging until a play is already unfolding. This isn't a shot at his effort at this stage of his career. It's a simple acknowledgement of the trade-off. To carry the immense offensive load that he does, something has to give. And what's given at times is his consistent impact on the defensive end. He can no longer be the primary offensive engine and a lockdown defender every night.
You know what we're not talking about? Boy, them motherfuckers play defense too, dog.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you need those younger legs out there.
Austin Reeves is making plays.
The data suggests it's a trade-off that creates a vulnerability for the Lakers. While he can still summon moments of individual brilliance, those flashes can't always cover for season-long trends. A few spectacular chase-down blocks don't erase the possessions where easy baskets are given up. The small leaks, possession by possession, are what can sink a team in a 7-game series. The problem goes beyond just individual stats. The most important question is, does your team's current formula lead to a championship? For years, with LeBron James, the answer was a resounding yes. Now, the evidence is a lot murkier. The ultimate proof is in the playoffs. Despite having two of the best players in the world in LeBron and Luka Doncic, the Lakers have been eliminated in the first round for 2 straight years. First, it was at the hands of the Denver Nuggets. Then, last season, their campaign ended after a 4-1 series loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. It wasn't just a loss, it was a confirmation that the Lakers' current structure wasn't enough to overcome the league's best. This is the exact failure Paul Pierce pointed to when he made his controversial statement. He wasn't just talking trash, he was pointing to a pattern. The results of consecutive first-round playoff losses serve as the final verdict on a formula that has hit its ceiling. Perhaps the most compelling evidence for Pierce's argument isn't even about LeBron himself, but about the future of the franchise. It's no secret that Luka Doncic is now the face of the team. The Lakers have invested in Doncic as their long-term centerpiece, signing him to a massive contract extension to build around for the future. This forces an uncomfortable but critical question that the Lakers front office has to face. How do you best build a championship roster around Luka Doncic for the next 5 years? The current approach has yielded one in-season tournament banner and multiple early playoff exits. Blunt gains traction. He asks if the gravitational pull of LeBron, while still immense, prevents the team from finding a new, more balanced identity. When a team has a player of LeBron's magnitude, the offense naturally revolves around him. But what if the key to unlocking the next championship-level Lakers team is a system with more ball movement and a clearer hierarchy with Doncic at the undisputed top? This isn't an anomaly. It's a strategic crossroads that many aging dynasties eventually face. This brings us back to Paul Pierce's radical yet logical conclusion. If the current formula has hit its ceiling, what's the fix? Pierce proposed 2 paths. The first is a dramatic role change. Instead of starting and running the entire offense, what if LeBron came off the bench? Imagine him leading the second unit, feasting on backup defenders for 20 to 25 minutes a night. It would preserve his body and allow him to be a dominant closer in short bursts, rather than carrying the load for 35 minutes. It's a role that could extend his career and provide a massive punch when the starters rest. The second, more controversial path is the one that started this whole firestorm: a trade. Trading a legend feels wrong, but the goal of an NBA franchise isn't just to honor legends, it's to win championships. Pierce argued that the Lakers need to build for the future, and that trading LeBron could bring back assets to construct a true contender around Luka Doncic. It's a cold, calculated business decision. Of course, it's not that simple. LeBron has a no-trade clause, giving him full veto power over any potential deal. But the conversation itself is no longer unthinkable. It's becoming a logical, if painful, strategic debate. This is a tough, almost uncomfortable conversation to have about a player who has given so much to the game of basketball. And I know many people will passionately disagree, but the results of the last 2 seasons are hard to ignore. So I have to ask you, is this all just an overreaction? Is Paul Pierce's take just a bitter rival talking? Or is he saying the hard truth the Lakers need to face? Let me know in the comments what you think the Lakers should do. Is it time to make a franchise-altering move? Or do you ride it out with the king one more time? In the end, this entire debate boils down to narrative versus numbers. The narrative is of the aging king, a true Iron Man defying father time and still producing at an all-NBA level. It's a powerful and compelling story that's easy to root for. His supporters, like Kevin Garnett, argue that his greatness is undeniable and he can still elevate any team, but the numbers tell a different story. They tell the story of declining defensive impact, evidenced by his career worst defensive rating and a negative plus-minus rating that shows the team getting outscored when he is on the court. They tell the story of consecutive playoff failures that exposed the roster's fundamental weaknesses against top-tier opponents. And most importantly, they force a conversation about whether the team's structure is preventing them from taking the next step. Paul Pierce was laughed at for his take. He was called a hater, biased, and out of touch. But maybe, just maybe, he was the first one to look past the name on the back of the jersey and focus on the numbers on the scoreboard. The legacy is forever cemented. The highlights will play forever. But the analytics, the cold, hard data that doesn't care about reputation, are telling a different story. And in the ruthless business of winning NBA championships, it's the numbers that usually have the final say. The only question left is whether the Lakers are willing to listen.